Sonic has faced terrifying villains, world-ending threats, and enemies powerful enough to destroy entire planets. But none of those battles hurt him as much as the day his own friends turned against him. For years, Sonic believed there was one thing he could always count on. No matter how dangerous the mission became, no matter how impossible the odds looked, Tails, Knuckles, and the rest of his friends would always stand beside him. At least, that's what he thought. Because there was a moment when Sonic felt completely betrayed by the people he trusted most. And what happened next changed everything. There was a time when Sonic and his friends seemed unstoppable. Every challenge they faced only made their bond stronger. Tails wasn't just Sonic's partner. He was his closest friend, the one person who always believed in him, even when nobody else did. Knuckles was different. He didn't always agree with Sonic, but when things got serious, they fought side by side without hesitation. Together, they faced enemies that should have been impossible to defeat. And every victory reinforced a simple idea. No matter what happened, they would always be a team. But sometimes the strongest friendships don't break all at once. Sometimes they crack slowly. And that's exactly what happened here. At first, the changes were easy to ignore. A strange look from Tails, an argument that lasted longer than it should have, moments where Knuckles seemed more frustrated than usual. None of it felt important, at least not yet. But the more time passed, the more obvious it became that something was wrong. The trust that had once connected them was beginning to disappear, and Sonic didn't understand why. The worst part wasn't the fighting. It was the uncertainty, because when an enemy attacks you, you know where you stand. But when your friends begin pulling away, every conversation feels different. Every silence feels heavier. Every glance starts raising questions. And Sonic was starting to realize he wasn't getting any answers. Then came the moment he never expected. The moment when everything finally collapsed. The tension that had been building for so long suddenly exploded. Tails looked at him differently, not with trust, not with admiration, but with doubt. The kind of doubt that cuts deeper than any insult. Knuckles wasn't any better. His patience had completely disappeared. And before Sonic could understand what was happening, the situation spiraled out of control. Arguments became confrontations, confrontations became battles, and friends became opponents. For the first time, Sonic wasn't standing across from a villain. He was standing across from the people he cared about most. His voice shook as he searched their faces for answers. Why were they acting like this? What had he done? Why did it suddenly feel like everyone had turned against him? But no explanation came, only silence. And somehow that silence hurt more than the fight itself, because silence leaves room for doubt, and doubt can destroy even the strongest friendships. What made the betrayal so painful wasn't the fighting itself. Sonic had fought powerful opponents his entire life. He knew how to handle danger. He knew how to handle fear. What he didn't know how to handle was watching the people he trusted turn against him. Every attack carried a weight that no enemy could ever match, because every strike reminded him of what he was losing. The friendship, the trust, the memories they had built together, and no amount of speed could protect him from that. Sonic was still the fastest, still powerful enough to fight back, still capable of winning the battle if he truly wanted to. But winning was never what he wanted, because defeating his friends would never fix the problem. It would never restore what had been broken. Deep down, Sonic wasn't trying to beat them. He was trying to get them back, trying to save the friendships that had helped define who he was, trying to hold together a team that seemed to be falling apart right in front of him. And that's what makes this one of the saddest moments in Sonic's story. Not because he was facing a powerful enemy, not because the odds were impossible, but because the people standing against him were the same people he once trusted with his life, the same people who had laughed beside him, fought beside him, and protected him. Yet now they stood on the other side. And for the first time, Sonic realized that some battles can't be won with speed. Some wounds can't be healed with strength, and sometimes the greatest pain doesn't come from your enemies, it comes from the people you love the most. But here's the question Sonic fans still debate today. Were his friends truly betraying him, or were they trying to protect the world from something Sonic couldn't see? The answer might change the way you see this story forever.